Hi everyone, my name is Rachel, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is where I make scrapbooking process videos and also do live scrap and chats every month. I hope you enjoy my little corner of the big crafty world, and if you'd like to watch more, please subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell to always know when I have a new video. If you could also give me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome. Alright everyone, let's start scrapping!
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of From Our Scrap Bin. This is a monthly collab I do with a bunch of other YouTubers, and the idea is that rather than breaking into brand new pieces of paper, which we of course always love to do, is digging into our scraps. So I went back through my papers and I looked for something where I had a lot of scraps, and that happened to be the Simple Stories Forever Fall collection. I had bought the collection kit, so all I've got is the paper and the 12 by 12 sticker sheet, but I have tons and tons of scraps of paper. And then I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw this sketch from Felicity Jane. I think it's their January monthly sketch or their February monthly sketch. I'm not 100% sure, but I just thought, oh my gosh, that would be super cute to use with scraps. Now I've got 2 4x4s and 1 3x4 photo. So my photos are going to be slightly larger, but that's totally okay because I don't need that much room for journaling. And also I've got this tag. Now I got this on, at a crop I went to several years ago, and the person had like this little thing of chocolate, and then this was attached to it, and I kept this, and so I'm like, oh my gosh, this would be totally perfect. And it's slightly smaller than the tag on this sketch, so I'm totally fine with that. I also pulled in some acrylic pieces from Color Cast Designs, some enamel dots from Freckled Fawn, some label stickers from Freckled Fawn, and then one of the Simple Stories alpha foam alphas, this one in navy, and then of course my go-to for mini thickers, the ones that come from Pink Paisley or Paige Evans. So I'm going to go ahead and get you guys put on fast forward. Before I do, 2 things. First, if you could flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome. And second, don't forget to go into the description box below and check out the links to the other YouTubers' layouts. So let's go ahead and get you guys put on fast forward and let's get going. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put the sketch to the side, and what I'm looking for now is just pieces that will fulfill the elements I need for the sketch. So I know I need something about 3 inches wide and 12 inches long. I like the plaid, but I'm concerned it's going to be too busy. I also like this pink tone-on-tone geometric pattern. I'm also a huge fan of that little multicolor micro stripe and then the multicolor triangle paper. I don't know why it took me so long to say the word triangle, but it did. So I'm going to be using this white piece of cardstock as my background, and then going ahead and just cutting up the pieces into the sizes I need. Now, my photos were originally 4x6s, and I trimmed them down to the 4x4 and the 3x4, and I'm pretty sure I did a pretty terrible job with them. So what I'm just doing is lining the photo up so that way I cut the piece of paper the exact width of my photo, because they were not actually 3x4. It was like 3 1/8 by 4. So I'm doing the same with that multicolor stripe paper as well, and then I'm going to screw it up and have to do it again because that's how I roll. So I know I've mentioned this before, but for those of you who don't memorize my every word, a lot of times when I'm using a sketch, I like to go ahead and trim out my pieces of paper beforehand. So, as I said, I trimmed out the pink paper and the stripe paper, and that's going to be the left-hand column of the grid design. And then for the right-hand column, I have that iCat design, and then also the multicolor triangle. Oh my gosh, I do not know why on earth I'm having such a hard time with the word triangle. But the triangle paper. So now I've got everything cut up. It's like I said, this is going to be a very simple layout. It only took me slightly over half an hour, and that included me chatting with my introduction. So it was a pretty quick layout to do. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning, obviously my photos are larger than the photos in the original sketch. So I don't need as much of that triangle paper and the iCat paper as the original sketch called for. I also don't need that much room for journaling that was put in the original sketch anyways. Now, I've mentioned before that I am the worst person at lining things up, and nowhere is that more obvious than when I'm doing this layout, because I have to pull things up and put things down about 5 times for each element I'm pasting down. So these photos are not lined up. The papers underneath, I did not cut them to the right size. So just so you know, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect 100% of the time. You can do something that is just good enough, and you'll see where I get to a point where I'm just, you know what, we're just going to go with good enough this time, and that's just the way it is. I had something like a crumb or something underneath, so I could feel it bumpy underneath my paper there, so that's what I was just doing there. So this pink paper was slightly longer than my white cardstock, so I just trimmed that off. So here is where I'm going to tuck the iCat paper underneath. Now, I really liked that dark blue floral as well, but I just thought it was too dark for these photos and for the subject here, because there wasn't really anything dark about the subject here. And also, I am going to be using a sticker that has a multicolor floral on it as well. And I didn't want to have a floral with a floral, because the place where I would have used that floral would have been in place of the pink paper, and it just wouldn't work. So I'm going ahead and tucking in this triangle paper, and I have it the wrong way, and then I realized I put the glue on the wrong side, so I had to kind of peel that up. Now, if you look over on the right-hand side, that sticks out from the photo by like a quarter of an inch, because I'm awesome like that. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put my title right there. It's fine. No one's really going to look going, oh, look, this paper is longer than the photo. You should have fixed that. Nobody's going to say that. Nothing. So no big deal. So I'm just getting where I want my photo. Like I said, multiple times. My photo sizes are different, so obviously my layout is going to line up differently. So here's that scallop border sticker that I'm going to pull. That was in the original sketch. And then I have the tag. That was a gift. And now I would love to use some of these word phrases, but they're all, like, everything I have left is very fall themed. Oh, so I pull out this wreath, and then for some reason I cut it in half, and I realized the second I put it down that that is not a place where half a wreath is going to work. Luckily, I was able to put the wreath back together, and you cannot tell at all that it's in 2 pieces. So yay me. I like it much better as a full wreath, so I don't know what I was thinking. So now I'm looking at the Freckle Fawn label stickers, and I'm going to pick something for my journaling, and I end up picking the orange. I was debating, I love that polka dot one, but I didn't want to put the polka dot one on top of the triangle paper because I thought it would get lost, and I really wanted that solid outline in order to make my journaling be separate from the background. So I go ahead and add glue to the back of the tag and trimmed off the twine because it didn't need to be as long as it was originally in the packaging. And then I pull out the acrylic pieces from Color Cast Designs, and I'm going to use one of the orange leaves and one of the yellow leaves. Before I glue those down, I realized I should use I want to use my T-square ruler. So I'm like, before I glue down the dimensional thing, I should go ahead and do my layout. So for the word vote, I am going to use the Navy Simple Stories Color Vibe foam stickers. And then for the rest of my title, I go to my kind of one I do all the time, which are the mini thickers from Pink Paisley / Paige Evans. So my entire title is A New Way to Vote. So everyone in my state was allowed to vote by mail. Because of COVID, just so you guys know, I'm not making this political. I was undergoing cancer treatments last year. It was highly suggested to me that I not wait in line at the on election day, so we went and dropped our ballots off at the ballot box in front of our town hall. So we just took pictures because I don't normally get to take a lot of pictures whilst voting. Also, it was my nephew's first time voting. He had voted in the primary, but this is his first time voting in a general election, so I wanted to get a picture of that. Anyway, so I go ahead and use my Art Glitter Clear Glue, which is a liquid glue, to glue down the acrylic pieces. I had actually layered one of them over a leaf sticker from the 12x12 sticker sheet, and then I used another newsprint leaf sticker from the sticker sheet layered underneath that tag. And now I'm just going to go ahead and write my journaling, as I explained already what I'm talking about. I do want to say once again, make sure you head down into the description box and check out the links to the other YouTubers who are working on the collab from my scrap bin. I'm sure everyone's layouts are super awesome and you will enjoy them. Alright, one last thing I'm going to do is add some enamel dots in one more time. I'm going to make this about 16 times as hard as it actually needs to be. I'm going to forget what colors I'm using. I'm going to use the wrong size in the wrong place, like about 3 different times. It was an obnoxious enamel dot issue going on today. I add a peach color, so I've got that orange color, the light blue, and the peach. And then I add a mustard, and I'm like, wait, I've already have 3 colors. So for those of you who don't know, what I like to do is I either like to use all 3 different sizes, large, medium, and small, all in one color, or one of each in each of the groupings. And I decided to do with one of each, and just had a horrible time trying to figure out what was supposed to go where. Yeah, it was super pleasant. And that is going to finish off my layout. I debated using some misting, but I decided, nah, I'm just checking it against the original sketch, and that is going to be my layout for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Bye!